Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a quick process video for you today. This is for another playing card in the full deck challenge for the altered playing cards. This is hosted by Shauna Shanuki Art. I posted a video a couple days ago. I'm trying to get caught back up. I have gotten several cards behind, and so I'm just going to do another card really quick. This is card number 10, and the prompts for this day were green, staples, words, and circles. So I decided to start out with adding some tissue paper to my card, and I just happen to have some that has like newsprint. This is actually tissue paper though, and so I'm just gluing that down with my Yoo-Hoo glue stick just to create the background and just have something to kind of work with, because these cards are obviously slick, and so having that extra layer is just really helpful on there. And then I have these pages from, this is the Artist Almanac calendar that I had, and so I have multiple of these. So I'm going to go through here and punch out some circles with a couple of different sizes of hole punches here. I have like a 1 inch, and I think that's like 1.5, I want to say. Anyway, so I'm just going to do a few different sizes, and I'm trying to keep them all with varying shades of green, since that is the prompt. And I want to have maybe an odd number that, you know, just kind of working on the placement here. So I'm going to pull these out and then get them glued down, just trying to play with the placement of how these work in so I'm going to fidget with them just a little bit, trying to get them where I want. And then I decide I want to glue them down, and I want to use some paint in the background as well. So I want a certain kind of background. So what I'm going to, or texture to the background. So I'm going to actually use some Distress collage medium here, and just glue these down with this. You could certainly use just a, you know, your glue stick or some liquid glue or whatever, but I really want them to have a non-porous surface so that I can kind of do some smearing and smudging. So I'm going to actually go over this whole entire card now with collage medium. I could have done that from the beginning, but you know, I'm working just kind of intuitively, just doing whatever seems right at the moment. So I'm just trying to get these circles back where I had them when I liked their placement. So I really like this one over here on the right, so I want that to be kind of my focus. So now I'm just going to go over and give everything on here a nice coat, and then I'm going to dry that really well with my heat tool and trim off all of the excess. I apologize, I'm a little bit off frame here. I don't really know what happened to my camera, but anyway, I just trimming off the excess part of those circles. And now I have these, I had a little bit of that it was coming up, so I added some liquid glue. And then I have these little glue sticks, or excuse me, paint sticks. These are tempera paint sticks. These are actually a kid's product, but I really like using stuff like this in some of my mixed media art. And they just work really well, and they dry really fast, which is why I wanted to make sure that I had that non-porous surface from the collage medium, because I wouldn't be able to kind of blend and mix the colors and like rub them in whatever, because they dry so super quickly. So I'm just kind of trying to get the color that I want. I'm going sort of back and forth, adding a few different colors of green here and there in the background, just to try and add just a little bit of interest. I don't want it to be super overwhelming, because I still want those paper circles to be the focus. So I'm just adding a little bit of blue down here in the bottom corner, because that one circle had some blue in there, and then going back over with this lighter green again and again. The reason why I'm able to blend these particular paint sticks at this point is because of that non-porous surface. So I was even able to kind of wipe them off with a baby wipe if I didn't like how it looked or whatever. And then I'm just going to hit that with my heat gun and let it dry, and then all of that will be done. Just drying it really well on both sides so that I can move on to the next step. So I want to outline these and just give them, really kind of bring them into focus. So I'm going to use my Stabilo All pencil, and I'm going to go around each one of these circles, just drawing around the border, and then I will take a water brush and activate all of that ink. And so just kind of going around, kind of smearing it a little bit, kind of shading a little, kind of giving it some shadows. I'm just going to go around every one of the circles where I drew the outline. That's just kind of help them pop up off of the background a little bit better. And then I really like to frame things. I just sometimes feel like that really helps things look more finished. So I'm just going around the edges of the card with this as well. And that kind of just darkens up the card, but I feel like it just gives it a little bit more interest. Just having that contrast between the really dark black and then those shades of green. And then a couple of the other prompts for this day were staples and words. I already have the words in the background, and I realized that I did not have it done staples yet. So what I decided to do is add a few more little tiny circles, and this is actually little like hole reinforcers. I have a punch that punches those out, and so I went back to those same papers and I punched out 3 of those, and then I'm just going to add those onto my card in a few different places. But because I had inked up everything else with that Stabilo all pencil, I wanted to kind of muddy these up just a little bit, so I added just a little bit of that to my water brush. Here you can see, and then I'm just going to go kind of around the edges of those hole reinforcer circles, and then I'm actually going to use my tiny attacher and staple those onto my card so that I have that aspect of these prompts on there. And I'm hanging this one kind of off the edge, so I will end up trimming that down just a little bit, but I just kind of wanted the extra interest of having kind of another layer of circle and another size as well. So you can see I'm just adding basically like 2 staples per each one of those little tiny circles, and then trimming off the excess of that one side there. And at this point I feel like it still needed something, so I decided I wanted to add some words. So I pulled out this sticker from a Tim Holtz phrase book, and it says she dreamed beautiful dreams, and it was one long sheet, so I just had to cut it up a little bit. So I just kind of placing these within that one circle there on the left, and then I'm going to take a black pen. It says, I think, a Pilot pen. I'm just going to go and kind of just scribble around this little sticker that I added with the words on there, with the sentiment on there. And then I'm going to add a few little art marks just around to tie everything in together. And that is pretty much it for my card for this day. So if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.